everybody, John Van Dyke here from New Jersey Exposed. Today is Friday, April 15, 2022. Time is 12:02 p.m. Jersey time. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this story, it just kind of reiterates or emphasizes or whatever you want to call it, the video where the young man is shot and killed over a traffic stop. How these police officers, these well-trained idiots out there, I'm not saying they all are, but every time there's a story in the newspaper or online, it's attached to a well-trained idiot of how they take motor vehicle situations and make it worse, to the point where the officer's behavior is worse than the behavior of the person they pulled over. This is reported on yahoo.com. And this came out on April 14, 2022. Knoxville police officer pleads guilty to tampering with records, then resigns. There it is right there. A Knoxville police officer who had been suspended as the department reviewed his actions in a high-speed chase was arrested Thursday on charges he destroyed or tampered with records. See what I mean? A high-speed chase. He's going to jump in the car and he's going to put the pedal to the metal and chase after the vehicle for what? What'd they do? Run a traffic sign? A stop sign? They didn't come to a full stop? They made a turn without putting their blinker on? Remember that story I did not too long ago about the female cop that chased the guy and the car flipped over and it killed him? Joseph Roberts resigned Thursday after pleading guilty to the felony charges. District Attorney Charmaine Allen said in a news release. Roberts lied on the arrest report. She said, well, what a surprise. What are the three things that always these bad cops getting always in trouble for? Well, we know violence is one of them. Child sexual misconduct is the other one. And deceit, lying, things of that in that category. Well, which one do you think this is? Well, I know what category. It's lying, deceit. At 4:50 p.m. January 31st during rush hour no less, Roberts initiated a pursuit on Interstate 640 East. Roberts began the pursuit of Sierra Davis after he noticed she was driving with expired plates, according to the crash and arrest reports. Well, that's nice. Let's go 100 miles an hour because somebody's license plate expired. And why did the plates expire? Did they forget to renew it, or they just didn't have the money at the moment to pay for the registration? I know that problem. I've had it happen where I had to let my plates go for a few days and then I went down to motor vehicles and paid it. I've also had where I forgot. You know, they send you a thing you put up in your visor and you forget, you look and you go, oh shit. Roberts turned off both his in-car camera and his body-worn camera against the department policies, but the cruiser camera automatically turned back on 8 seconds later when Robert's speed reached a certain threshold. That's cool. Davis, in her 2008 Infiniti, sped away from Roberts, exited Old Broadway, and blew a red light as she turned right onto Broadway. Well, that justifies the officer going 100 miles an hour. Another driver comes through the intersect closet and Davis is flipping her car into the northbound lane of Broadway, where it hit a second car before coming to a stop. No one was seriously hurt, fortunately. When other officers arrived on the scene, they repeatedly asked Roberts if he was involved in a pursuit. Even though it lasted 3.5 minutes, covered more than 4 miles, and reached speeds over 100 miles an hour, Roberts maintained he was not involved in the pursuit, the DA report says. So he lied. Now, here in New Jersey, officers are prevented from chasing after cars. Basically what it says, if the pursuit creates a hazardous situation, they are to terminate the chase. And that is the one good thing I agree with our former Attorney General Gerber had put in effect, and that's a great policy. It's not great if you're getting your car stolen, the cops are trying to stop you. They know the crooks know to run off. But hey, I'd rather have the car get away than have some get flipped over. Next, you know, people are getting killed. So when finally filling out the warrants for Davis and her passenger, he lied again. Why would it be a warrant for the passenger? A falsification of official record it is imperative that citizens are able to trust law enforcement. Well, it may be imperative, but reality is that unless you're a hardcore bootlicker, you go balls deep on it, you don't trust the police because the police are not to be trusted. Said a statement by repeatedly being dishonest when questioned by his supervising officers and by falsifying his sworn statement. This officer broke the law, damaged that trust, and showed that he was unfit to serve as an officer of law. Well, who signed off on him? And why would this cop not just go to the chief private and say, look, this is what I did. I might not have used the best interest, and what can we do about it? Again, if you can't afford the cost of your actions, then you should not involve yourself in those actions. Robert's lawyer, T. Scott Jones, said the officer has taken full responsibility for his, now that he's been caught he is, because he wants to make a deal with the prosecutor. He is desirous of redeeming himself through his continued good conduct in order to establish that the events for which he submitted were anomaly in an otherwise law-abiding upright life. Yeah, okay, you mean he didn't get caught for anything else. Well, let's see, a way he can redeem himself, drop the charges against the driver, and he can pay for all the damages caused by him, and he can pay for the lawsuit that the city is going to be paying out for. That'd be a good place to start. I, as his legal counsel, trust the safe wisdom of the judge and that his request for diversion is not something that is given, but rather something that he will, that he will hopefully earn and merit after 2 years of exemplary probation, Jones writes in a statement. He's a young man that made a grave error and is paying for a high price for the same, and he implores the forgiveness that earned through future acts of meeting society. Yeah, grave error and paying a high price. What do you mean high price? Did his car get in an accident? Did he almost get killed? Did he get injured? Is anybody suing him personally? KPD is committed to serving with integrity, working steadfastly to maintain the trust of those it serves, and there's no place here for officers who are not committed to that same vision. He said our officers will keep doing the work necessary to maintain the trust, blah, blah, blah. Davis was arrested on several charges, including evading arrest and careless and erratic driving. Her passenger, Javier Nolan, had a warrant out for his arrest, according to a police report. Roberts wrote that Davis knew that Javier Nolan was wanted on felony charges and was assisting him in avoiding arrests. Erling told Knox News February that Roberts was suspended when KPD was made aware of the totality of Roberts' actions. After the crash, KPD Internal Affairs Unit opened an investigation into possible policy violations. Why is he not being charged with official misconduct? Later that week, Morrow listed as the head of the violent crime massive to investigate the crash by blah, blah, blah. Russ has been suspended with pay after the department opened to imagine it, suspended with pay. This is the only profession where you can go to work, screw up, still keep your job. You can go to work, you could choke your fellow employee, you can lie to your boss, you can cause your boss lots of money, and you will still have your job. It's the only profession out there. There is no other profession that has this kind of immunity and impunity to being held accountable. And now I say they put him out on pay, suspended with pay. I think the way it should go is that when he's found that he did lie and admitted to it, that he'd have to give all that money back, because I always say that these punishments should be retroactive, not from the time he gets found guilty or pleads guilty, because this is bullshit. And then this cop here goes and he goes and resigns. No. See, he's resigning, and he's going to try to get into a first offenders program and then get that record cleared, and he'll try to get back into law enforcement again. So that's just my take on the whole thing. But this is a good example of how this officer took a motor vehicle situation and created a big mess. The mess that several cars were in an accident, people were almost killed, and he lied, so now he screwed up his own life, and he's costing the taxpayers, no doubt, a lot of money. I'm John Van Dyke. Until next time.
You're no good, baby.